Looks like she's getting older.
Now available in paperback, John Haynes at Death's Door. The man who rules the world takes on the Greek god of death in this action-packed John Haynes series adventure. Pick up your copy of John Haynes at Death's Door at Amazon.com and other online booksellers everywhere.
Hi everyone, it's Shawn here, and I'm doing a review of Sakura. Now, she was one of the major bad girl comics of the 90s, and she's been missing from comics for way too long as I see it. The storytelling that Billy Tucci presents in She's Return, starting with She, Return of the Warrior, and She, Hakayo, has been absolutely fantastic, and with the major cliffhanger that was left in She, Hakayo, I definitely had to pick up She, Sakura to continue reading the story. And this whole comic made me basically feel like those days of the late 80s and the early 90s when I used to go out here and pick up comics. And She, Sakura is an absolutely great comic that takes us back to the days of bad girl comics of the 90s and shows us that there's more to the flash of the sexy bodies, and there's a lot of substance as related to the storytelling. Now, my copy of She, Sakura sadly didn't get through the mail unscathed, and due to a mail person putting the Gemini mailer in the mailbox and it got wedged in real tight, I had to basically cut the Gemini mailer off the comic in order to get the comic out of the mailbox. And sadly, my copy of She, Sakura suffered a couple of dings on the side and at the bottom here, but it's still a great comic to read. It's in good condition, and I can go out here and I read this entire comic because even though I got the digital edition before, I really wanted to wait till I got the paper edition because with your She, you have to experience it all in a paper copy to really appreciate how beautiful the art is here on these She comics. And this cover by Billy Tucci is just absolutely fantastic and just explodes with just dynamic energy, and it just feels really alive. And if I saw this cover in a comic shop, this would be a book I would definitely want to pick up. And as somebody who has read the previous stories, I would definitely be anticipating picking up this book, and because I really want to continue reading this story. And this story, again, it picks up right after the previous issue of She, Hakayo. And one of the things I'm really happy about this book is that Billy takes the time to go out here and take a minute to give you a recap of what transpired in the two previous issues, and that's what makes this book a great entry point for new readers. If you've never read She, Return of the Warrior, or She, Hakayo, you'll definitely have no problem getting into the story, and you'll want to go out here and pick up the back issues on Billy Tucci's website. Now, we get a really nice recap of everything going on in Anna's life and her return to action in the first couple of pages, and we get a nice follow-up which builds into the story. Now, we do this in less than 3 pages, which really shows how Billy is a master of his craft as related to storytelling, that we get this recap and right into an entry point which takes us into the major twist of She, Hakayo, which was where your Anna Ishikawa, who always thought that she was half white and Japanese, soon finds out that she's actually Japanese full. And with that, she's that we have a mystery revolving around She's original mother, and She's original mother is out here. She doesn't want her daughter to find out about her, and she's looking to keep her daughter from finding her, and that leads to the buildup of an absolutely fantastic story. So this buildup is just, again, exceptionally well done, and we get, again, really good sequences that feel like storyboards out of a movie. And again, this art just really pops, and it has you looking to go look from page to page and really looking to go out here and continue reading a really absolutely fantastic story. Now, this story continues to go on with Anna dealing with the aftermath of her daughter, Hotaru, winding up murdering one of Shi's enemies, and your Hotaru not really knowing how to navigate through her emotions. She thinks that she can go out here and just be a warrior. She's caught up in her feelings, but your Anna understands that things are not as easy as this. And as the two have an argument, they go to bed, and then she, or your Anna, has a dream about this, about the darkness and stuff. But I don't want to give away too much of the story because there's a lot that goes on here in this She story. And with 72 pages, this is a big, long book. So when I put in my pledge, I thought that I was just going to get, a standard comic like I usually do. But Billy goes above and beyond. He gives you 72 pages. And in some ways, I feel like I didn't pay enough based on all of this work. I mean, this is a lot of work here, 72 pages. And I feel like I didn't pay enough as related to, again, a 72-page comic, because 72 pages, that's basically like 3 comics, and there's a lot that goes on in these 72 pages. Now, one of the things I liked is the fact that we're learning that, Anna is getting older, and she's starting to go gray. So we're starting to see that the warrior, she has returned, she's got kids, and she's not really fitting into the costume. That's why she had to put the skirt on the costume. And the whole thing is her life has changed when she was younger. So there's a lot going on here in this comic. In addition to her getting older, we're also dealing with your Hotaru and all of the things that she's dealing with as related to the trauma. And this was a sequence of pages where your Hotaru was getting bullied. And this took me back to my own novel, Spellbound, and it really reminded me of a sequence that I wrote in Spellbound where your Matilda Crowley is confronting Chantel and with the bully who's coming after her. And this sequence with your Hotaru, who's just gotten through taking a life, dealing with this bully, and dealing with her anger. Again, it took me back to my own novel, Spellbound, and this sequence really just is like what I would have written, what I wrote in Spellbound, but it also really shows how your Hotaru is becoming very dark like her father and is basically starting to become like her father. So there's a lot going on here as related to the character transformation arc here with Hotaru and her being and this thirst for violence. So there's a lot I really like about what they're doing and showing with her character and the changes she's going through, and hopefully your Anna can help her before she becomes consumed by this evil or this darkness inside of her, and learn how to be like a samurai and have that discipline and self-control. So we get a lot of great moments in this storyline, and again a lot of great character development. I mean, over the course of 72 pages, we really get a lot as related to the story being built up. Again, I don't want to give away too much of She Sakura because Billy and everybody on this book really did a lot of hard work to get this book done. And I don't want to go out here and just read through the entire book in a video. I want you to go out here and experience She Sakura for yourself. I want you to go out here and experience this book because, again, this is one of the best comics of 2022, and it's an absolutely fantastic comic that you need to really hold in your hand. Yeah, there's a digital version, and I could have done a review of the digital version a few weeks ago, but no, I wanted to wait for the paper version because with art this dynamic and art with this kind of energy, you've got to hold this comic in your hands. I mean, you've got to experience this for yourself, and I want you to experience it for yourself because this is a comic I highly recommend you go out here and get. I mean, this has the flash of the Bad Girls and Bad Girl comics, but has the substance of some great and well-crafted storytelling. And the cliffhanger at the end of She Sakura is one you want to read in your hands. And with that cliffhanger, I'm going to be out here counting down the days until the next issue in the She Saga, because I can't wait until the next installment of She is announced on Indiegogo and Kickstarter to put in my pledge, and I can't wait for the new She action figure to come out from Executive Replicas. I can't wait to add Anna Ishikawa to my collection to be with the other Marvel Legends, and I can't, again, wait for the next installment in the She Saga, because things are really building up in this storyline, and I just can't wait for the next book to come out, because this is a comic that just takes us back to the days of the Bad Girl comics, and really gives us some strong substance as related to storytelling, because people always complain, oh, there's not enough strong women in comics, but your Anna Ishikawa is showing that she has to have strength of character to deal with her mother and the issues as related to her real mother, and she also has to have strength of character in trying to guide her daughter and trying to prevent her daughter from falling into darkness. So there's a lot of strength of character as related to Anna Ishikawa, and she shows us that she's a strong woman, even as a samurai and as a mother. She shows us that there's a lot of, again, multidimensionality as related to her character. So this is the type of strong heroine that many of these social justice types want to go out here and create, but Billy Tucci masterfully crafts in his storytelling and gives us an absolutely fantastic story with She Sakura, with a great beginning, middle, and end, and a cliffhanger that will have you, again, counting down the days until the next issue in the She Saga. This is a comic that was just like the ones we used to buy back in the day at the comic shop and the newsstand, and you're going to really enjoy She Sakura. You're not going to be disappointed by this book at all. And again, one that I would say is one of the best comics of 2022, with some of the best art I have seen in a comic in a long time. This book is one that you will go out here, and it's not just one of these books you just throw a backing board on and throw into your box. No, this is one you want to sit down, hold in your hand, and read, because to experience this comic in hand is the best way to experience it, because art like this is art that you really want to, again, just take a look at all of those fantastic details and really take a look at them as you're reading this dynamic story. There's a lot to love here about She Sakura, and I'm glad that the Warrior is back to show us how great comics can be. Now, if you want to pick up your own copies in the She Saga, you can head over to Billy Tucci's website by clicking the link in the description box. And if you want to pick up my first comic featuring one of the SJS Direct characters, Eastie No Good Deed, you can find that comic on Kindle for 99 cents. And I'm hoping to get copies of John Haynes at Death's Door out to some way to readers, but you can pick up the books in the John Haynes series on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can find all of the John Haynes series books on online booksellers like Amazon, Smashwords, the iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you want to see me be able to put in a pledge for the next book in the She Saga and other great independent comics, you can donate to the channel so I can go out here and support all of these great independent comic creators by dropping a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, the Cash App, and that helps me be able to go out here and support more great creators like Billy Tucci and many other small independent creators who are trying to get their books to the marketplace. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller.